Imagine an economy so powerful that it doesn't just protect a nation, but also creates jobs for millions, drives technology that ends up in your smartphone, and even shapes global politics. That's the hidden story of the United States military economy. It's not just about tanks, ships, and soldiers. It's a massive machine that keeps America at the top of the world order. And whether you realize it or not, its influence touches your life every single day. 1. The scale of spending. The United States spends more on its military than the next 10 countries combined. In 2024, the defense budget soared past $850 billion. To put that in perspective, that's more than the entire GDP of countries like Switzerland or Saudi Arabia. But this money doesn't just vanish into missiles and submarines. It flows into contracts, salaries, research, and development, fueling an entire ecosystem. Every fighter jet built by Lockheed Martin, every aircraft carrier constructed by Huntington Ingalls, and every space defense satellite launched by SpaceX represents thousands of jobs and billions in supply chain activity. 2. The military-industrial complex. When President Dwight Eisenhower left office in 1961, he warned of the military-industrial complex. He feared the powerful relationship between the Pentagon, private industry, and politicians could grow so large that it would dictate America's priorities. More than 60 years later, his warning feels like prophecy. Companies like Raytheon, Boeing, and Northrop Grumman are not just contractors, they are giants that lobby Congress, influence budgets, and develop technologies that define modern warfare. This cycle creates an economy where politics and defense spending are tightly linked, ensuring that the defense sector rarely shrinks, even during times of peace. 3. Jobs and local economies. Beyond corporations, the military economy is deeply personal for millions of Americans. More than 1.3 million active-duty personnel serve today, supported by nearly 800,000 civilians. And then there are the veterans, over 18 million strong, whose benefits, pensions, and healthcare are all part of this vast economic structure. Entire towns depend on bases. Norfolk, Virginia, thrives on its massive naval station. Fayetteville, North Carolina, is shaped by Fort Liberty, and San Diego's economy pulses with defense dollars from its naval fleet. For these communities, the military isn't just about national defense, it's the lifeblood of the local economy. Restaurants, schools, hospitals, and small businesses all survive because of defense money. 4. Technology and innovation. The U.S. military doesn't just fight wars, it funds the future. Consider this. Without Pentagon research, we wouldn't have GPS, the internet, or even some of the microchips that run your computer. What starts as military technology often trickles down into civilian life, transforming global economies. Today, defense research focuses on artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, robotics, and quantum computing. These aren't just military tools, they are shaping the industries of tomorrow. When the Pentagon invests in innovation, Silicon Valley often follows, turning military necessity into commercial opportunity. 5. Global reach and arms sales. The U.S. military economy isn't contained within its borders, it's global. The U.S. is the largest arms exporter in the world, accounting for nearly 40% of all international weapons sales. Fighter jets to Japan, missile defense systems to Israel, drones to NATO allies. These deals not only strengthen partnerships but also bring billions back into the American economy. Arms sales also give Washington leverage. When allies depend on U.S.-made weapons, they're tied to American training, spare parts, and technology support for decades. This creates a web of influence that extends far beyond the battlefield, shaping geopolitics in subtle but powerful ways. 6. The debate at home. Of course, not everyone sees the military economy as a positive force. Critics argue that the U.S. spends far too much funds that could be directed toward healthcare, education, or rebuilding infrastructure. Imagine if just 10% of the defense budget went to renewable energy projects. America could transform its energy grid overnight. Supporters, however, argue that this spending isn't just about defense, it's about deterrence, global stability, and ensuring that the U.S. remains the world's dominant superpower. In their view, The military economy is the price of security and leadership in a world of rising powers like China and Russia. 7. The bigger picture. The truth lies somewhere in between. The US military economy is a paradox. It creates opportunity while raising tough questions about priorities. It drives innovation but also creates dependence. It provides security but sometimes fuels conflict. It is, in many ways, the backbone of America's global role, a force that extends far beyond the battlefield into economics, politics, and daily life. So, the next time you hear about a new jet fighter or a billion-dollar Pentagon budget, remember, it's not just about war, it's about jobs, technology, global influence, and America's identity as a superpower. The US military economy is not just defending the nation, it's shaping the future.